Okay, here we go. Question 51 if you're following along. And now I'm sitting down because I'm starting to get tired now after 50 questions. All right, the Maryland Insurance Code requires coverage for all the following except use of off label drugs, hearing aids for minor children, smoking cessation treatment, or well baby care. I want to say well baby care. Maybe a use of off label drugs. I don't know what off label drugs means. Does that mean marijuana? I don't know. All right, although exceptions exist, distributions from a qualified retirement plan are subject to a penalty tax if taken any earlier than the employee's age 62, 59 and a half, 55, or Social Security full retirement age. I want to say 59 and a half. I don't know if that's right, but I'm going to guess that. What is the primary difference between a revocable or irrevocable beneficiary? The policy's owner's ability or inability to change the beneficiary designation. The requirement for the insurer to tell the beneficiary if the insured has moved. The company's responsibility to notify the insured about any changes in the financial condition. And the policy's owner responsibility to pay the premium. That would be my guess. The responsibility to pay the premium. All right, 54. What is the main appeal of joint life insurance? Ability to cover an entire family, higher death benefit, lower costs than two separate policies. Underwriting is performed only on the older of the two. Um, Maybe lower costs, as my guess. What is another name for Medicare supplement policies? Medigap, Medicaid, Major Medical, Original Medicare. I'm going to put Medicaid. For all my Medicare life insurance people, you probably know the answer to that. Which of the following statements is true about term life insurance? It is intended to cover the insured age 120. A cash value accumulates in term life policies. The policy pays a death benefit only if the insured dies during the term. It is permanent insurance. Well, I don't think it's permanent. I don't think it has a cash value. I think that's whole life. This could be correct, but I'm not sure. I'm going to put the first one, which is 120. It covers them to age 120. I'm not even sure that's right, but if a life insurance policy death benefit is paid to the insured's estate, which of the following is correct? Here's your choices. The proceeds cannot be given to the heirs named in a will. All right, if a life insurance policy's death benefit is paid to the insured's estate, which of the following is correct? Your choices are the proceeds cannot be given to heirs named in a will. The proceeds will never be subject to federal income tax, which I don't think that's true. I would say never. Anything that says never is probably not right. The proceeds cannot be used to make charitable gifts. I don't think that's right. The proceeds cannot be used to pay for estate taxes or any costs that the estate may face. All right, I think it's the last one. The proceeds can be used to pay for taxes and any other costs. That's usually why estates are set up, so they can pay these things off when they die. Which provision requires the insured to notify the insurer with a certain number of days after a covered loss? If the test is like this, I might be okay, because some of these are common sense. Which provision requires the insured to notify the insurer within a certain number of days after a covered loss? A notice of claim, I would think. That the the questions is legal actions, reinstatement, notice of claim, or change of beneficiary. Which one of those do you need to notify the insurer? I mean, if you're filing a claim, I would think that you need to notify the insurer. And probably need to tell them about the change of beneficiary as well. Which statement is true under a split dollar life insurance plan? Your choices are a split dollar life insurance plan. The employer and employee split the premiums. The employee receives the entire death benefit. The employer gets temporary insurance protection. The employee pays all the premiums. Well, to me, the first one makes sense. The employer and employee split the premiums. Now, I have no idea if that's right because I don't remember talking about this, but I'm going to pick that. Okay, a worker can choose to collect permanently reduced Social Security retirement benefits as early as what? Is it 62? I think this varies state to state, but I don't know. I'm going to guess 62 on that. The choices are 60, 62, 64, and 66. All right, a producer must deliver which of the following documents to a policy owner who buys a life insurance policy that replaces another one? All right, your choices are a buyer's guide, policy summary, certificate of authority, notice regarding replacement. And I'm going to say policy summary on that. 62, all the following are automatically deemed to represent an insurable interest except one of these. The choices are Frank, the applicant, and his elderly neighbor; Karen, the disabled applicant, age 28, and her father who cares for her; Sue, the applicant, and her husband; ABC Corp, the applicant, and its key executive. And I want to say the last one, ABC and the key executive. But I'm thinking the top one as well. Maybe the top one more. Frank, the applicant, and his elderly neighbor. The elderly, is he taking care of the elderly neighbor? I don't know. That one's a tough one. Which of the following are required to have a certificate of authority before transacting insurance business in Maryland? All right, so this is for Maryland people specifically. So if you're not in Maryland, lucky you. All right, the answers are insurance companies and dental plan, authorized organizations, insurance companies, dental plan, and HMOs, insurance companies only, and insurance regulatory bodies only. I want to say, in Maryland, I want to say everything because they like to put laws on everything. So I'm going to pick insurance companies, dental plan, HMOs, your father's brother's mother, the sand on the ground at the beach, everything. And in Maryland, that's the way it is. They like to put rules and laws on everything, which is one of the reasons I'm leaving. But anyway, another subject, another day. Frank, an applicant for life insurance who is substandard risk, can expect to pay a premium that is best described as which of the following? The choices are generally higher than a standard risk, generally the same as a standard risk, but a shorter period of time. Generally lower than a standard risk. So it could be higher, lower, the same for a shorter time, or it's generally the same as a standard risk for the duration. So basically, they're not helping you at all in this question. All right, you have to know the answer, which I do not. All right, an applicant for life insurance who is substandard risk can expect to pay a premium. The same as the standard risk. There's nothing standing out here that would require them to pay more or less. Which of the following must HMO members receive to use to receive covered care? Any licensed healthcare practitioner, the nearest provider, providers and caregivers selected by the state HMO, HMO's network of providers and caregivers. I want to say providers and caregivers selected by the state's health maintenance organization. I want to say the HMO's network of providers and caregivers. I don't know what the association is, but I wouldn't think association would be able to pick out your. But then up here in the question it says, must HMO members use? So maybe there is an association. But I've never heard of that. Okay, anyway, I'm going to stick to my answer. Network of providers and caregivers. All right, 66. Which of the following statements about utmost good faith in insurance contract is correct? All right, the choices are both the insured and insurer must act in utmost good faith. Only the insured must act in good faith. Only the insured and the beneficiary must act in good faith. Only the insurer must act in good faith. I will say both the insured and insurer must act in good faith. The first one. All right, what does the fact that Bob is eligible for Medicare coverage under Part A indicate about his age and Social Security status? This is Medicare coverage under Part A. So all my people getting ready to sell Medicare, you should know this answer. It probably will be on the test. I want to say the choices are he is at least 59 and a half years old, and he will be eligible. He is 65 years old and eligible for Social Security retirement benefits, or has received disability benefits. He's at least 60 years old and eligible for Social Security retirement benefits. Bob is at least 70 years old and eligible for Social Security retirement benefits. I'm going to go with the first one, 59 and a half, and eligible for Social Security retirement benefits. All right. Genevieve wants to renew her Maryland insurance producer license. Which of the following is not a condition? Submission of a renewable form, payment of the renewable thing, report of insurance sales. That is not a condition of renewable. In most states, you do not have to show your insurance sales. All right, by submitting an application for life insurance without the first premium, Larry is doing which of the following? Here's your choices. Negotiating for lower premiums, inviting the insurer to make an offer, excuse me, I had to get some water, making the policy's effective date earlier than it would be the initial premium was paid, suggesting that the insurer should not issue the policy for some reason. By submitting an application for life insurance without the first premium, Larry is doing what? Inviting the insurer to make an offer. You can't negotiate for lower premiums. I want to say inviting the insurer to make an offer. All right, so an individual certificate for a group life insurance policy is not required to include which of the following? All right, these are your choices. Significant rights and conditions, inflation protection, entitled insurance protection, entitled which is not required to include the person to whom the benefits are payable, significant rights and conditions. I want to say inflation protection. All right, well, we'll find out if we're right or wrong. Okay, 71. Um, in which case is the amount payable for a covered service based on the amount that is typical for the area in which the service is performed? All right, here's your choices. When coverage is paid on a usual, customary, and reasonable charge basis. When coverage is paid according to a benefit schedule. When coverage is paid on a medical expense coverage. When coverage is paid on a provider basis. So the amount payable for covered service based on the amount that is typical for the area in which the service is performed. I want to say the first one, the UCR charge basis. It's usual, customary, and reasonable. All right, 72. Did we already answer this? All right, which statements is correct about underwriting? Here's your choices. Insurers consider the risk characteristics of the group as a whole. That may be true. Insurers examine group members to identify those engaging in adverse selection. Insurers can exclude group members whose health is poor. Insurers consider the risk characteristics of each group member. All right, I want to say the risk characteristics of the group as a whole. All right, the insured submits a claim to the insurer before the insurer cancels his health policy. How will the insurer treat the claim? It will investigate the claim under no obligation to pay it. It will ignore it because the policy will be canceled. It will pay any valid claims submitted before the policy is canceled. That's my guess. And the other choice was it cannot pay any claim unless the policy is restated. So I think it will pay any valid claims submitted before the policy is canceled. Which of the following statements about a producer agent responsibilities is correct? Here's your choices. As long as the applicant understands the life insurance product being recommended, it is not necessary for the agent to be concerned with the product's suitability for the applicant. The next one, how the agent conducts business has no bearing on the insurance company and directly impacts the agent's ultimate success. To the policy owners, the agent who sold them insurance coverage is clearly separate and does not represent the insurer. And the last one is agents must act ethically and professionally in all dealings with policy owners and future policy owners. And that would be my guess. All right, 75. After Todd was injured in a car crash, he received occupational therapy to help him return to work. His disability income policy paid for his therapy because he had, here we go, here's the choices, a relation to earnings provision, an exclusion provision, an elimination period, a rehabilitation provision. I'm going to go with a rehabilitation provision. 76. The waiver of premium provision. Then we're going to shut this video down after this one. It's getting kind of long. Matter of fact, we'll just shut it down now, and then we will start at 76 on the next video.